I passed the hallway glass and had to double back today, 'cause I didn't recognize the person looking back my way. The light behind the eyes is dimmed, the colors washed and thinned. A stranger's wearing all the skin that I've been living in. I'm searching for the version of me you used to adore, but she doesn't live inside this silver surface anymore. I reach out to the coldness just to touch a familiar face, but I only find the hollow lines of a love we can't replace. It's the mirror's reflection, but it feels like a lie, showing me the ghost of every tear I had to cry. I'm staring at the wreckage, at the cracks around the edge, trying to find the girl who stood upon that emotional edge. You took the us and left me with the me I barely know, watching how the shadows under tired eyes can grow. Just a broken-hearted image in a lonely glass collection, losing who I was to the mirror's reflection. I try to paint a smile on, but the brush begins to shake. There isn't enough makeup for this kind of heavy ache. I see the way I tilt my head to listen for your car, then I see the way I realize exactly where we are. I'm scrubbing at the memory of your hands upon my waist, until the glass is foggy and the vision is erased. I wanna break the frame and let the pieces hit the floor, so I don't have to see the girl who loves you anymore. Is that me, with the trembling lip and the hollowed out stare? Is that me, with the heavy heart and the tangled messy hair? I used to see a future when I looked into my eyes. Now all I see are sunset clouds and long and dark goodbyes. That is the mirror's reflection, but it feels like a lie, showing me the ghost of every tear I had to cry. I'm staring at the wreckage, at the cracks around the edge, trying to find the girl who stood upon that emotional edge. You took the us and left me with the me I barely know, watching how the shadows under tired eyes can grow. Just a broken-hearted image in a lonely glass collection, losing who I was to the mirror's reflection. Turn away, I can't look another minute. Empty frame with nothing left within it. Just a glass, just a ghost of the one who loved you most. I unpacked the boxes in a hallway full of hollow air, looking for the footsteps that were never really there. I used to sign my letters with a hand that leaned on yours, seeking out my safety behind your heavy doors. But the ink has finally dried upon the version of the truth, the one where you were everything and I was just the youth. I'm scrubbing at the surface of the man I used to be, until there's nothing left of us, just the me. And I'm carving out the name I built alone, chiseled in the silence, etched into the bone. No more hyphenated spirits, no more borrowed light. I'm finding my own gravity in the middle of the night. It's a heavy kind of honor, it's a sober kind of pride, to stand inside the person that I used to try and hide. Brick by brick, stone by stone, I'm becoming the owner of the name I built alone. digital case, watching all the memories finally turn to ash. I don't check the driveway for a shadow or a glow. I'm learning how to flourish in the absence of your show. Every word I speak is sharper, and every breath is mine, reclaiming every second of uninterrupted time. I'm the sentinel and subject, I'm the witness and the judge. I found the solid foundation that won't begin to budge. They say a name is nothing but a sound upon the air, but this one holds the weight of every prayer and every care. It doesn't need a witness and it doesn't need a hand. It's growing like a redwood in a broken, lonely land. Yeah, I'm carving out the name I built alone, chiseled in the silence, etched into the bone. No more hyphenated spirits, no more borrowed light. I'm finding my own gravity in the middle of the night. It's a heavy kind of honor, it's a sober kind of pride, to stand inside the person that I used to try and hide. Spill it out, say it loud. A name for me, finally free. The name built alone. I'm walking the tiles of the empty West Wing, where the shadows are long and the lockers all ring. I saw you today in the back of the class, watching the ghosts of our memories pass. You're wearing that sweater, the one with the tear, and suddenly it feels like you're no longer here. I am not the person you used to know. I'm just a shadow with nowhere to go. Take me back to the gym floor, the lights turned down low, to the rhythm of hearts that were moving so slow. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, haunted by the night we met you. The cafeteria's loud, but it's silent for me. I'm drowning in waves of what we used to be. You're laughing with friends near the senior year tree, and you look so much happier not knowing me. I'm tracing the patterns of stars on my desk while my heart is a mess in a cold hollow chest. We were the kings of the parking lot rain. Now I'm just a student of heartache and pain. If I could go back to the start of the year, I'd whisper the truths that you needed to hear. I am not the person you used to know. I'm just a shadow with nowhere to go. Take me back to the gym floor, the lights turned down low, to the rhythm of hearts that were moving so slow. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, haunted by the night we met you. The final bell rings and the buses all leave. I'm still wearing my heart on a tattered blue sleeve. Back to the night side of the bed. No more echoes of the bitter things we once said. I made the coffee for one, and I didn't even shake. Learning how to live with a manageable leg. I used to check the driveway till my eyes began to burn, waiting for a shadow that never would return. But today I tied my laces and I locked the front door, finding back the person I wasn't anymore. And it's the quiet triumph of surviving, breath by breath, finally arriving. It's not a shout from the mountain or a flag in the wind, just a soft, steady place where new lives begin. No fireworks blooming, no orchestras roar, just the sound of a heartbeat, not scared anymore. It's a lonely kind of victory, bittersweet and thriving, the quiet triumph of surviving. I unpacked the boxes where I buried all my pride, and open up the windows that you kept shut inside. I don't need your apology to finish up the man. I'm the architect of healing and the author of the end. I bought some fresh flowers for the table in the hall, and hung a different picture on the parlor wall. The silence used to taunt me, but now it's just a friend, guarding all the borders that I no longer bend. It's washing the dishes, it's sweeping the floor, it's deciding that us won't define me anymore. It's the bravery of staying when everything feels thin, and finding the courage to let the light in. Yeah, it's the quiet triumph of surviving, breath by breath, finally arriving. It's not a shout from the mountain or a flag in the wind, just a soft, steady place where new lives begin. No fireworks blooming, no orchestras roar, just the sound of a heartbeat, not scared anymore. Sunlight, quiet room, no ghost, no gloom, just surviving, that's enough, quietly. They say the world is built on three: the sun, the moon, the open sea. I thought the magic lived in the count, but I'm just staring at a hollow amount. The first was a wildfire, a beautiful mess. The second, a slow burn of quiet distress. But you were the anchor, the one meant to stay. Now I'm watching the third one just drift away. They call it a rule, like it's set in the stone, that the third time around you won't be alone. But the patterns are bleeding, the colors are gray, and the charm everyone promised has withered away. I'm 3 times the fool, 3 times the cost, counting the pieces of everything lost in the rule of threes. I'm just broken in 3, and there's no more heart left inside of me. I'm getting good at the walk away dance, at giving away my very last chance. I save my best secrets, my deepest of whys, just to see them reflect reflected in 3 sets of eyes. Is it a habit or just a curse? Every forever gets shorter and worse. 1 was a lesson I had to be taught. 2 was a battle I shouldn't have fought. But 3 was the one where I finally believed that I wasn't destined to just be deceived. Now the math doesn't add up, the logic is gone. How many thirds can a heart carry on? Times the fool, 3 times the cost, counting the pieces of everything lost. In the rule of 3s, I'm just broken in 3, and there's no more heart left inside of me. 1 for the memory, 2 for the pain, 3 for the silence that follows the rain. I'm done with the counting, I'm done with the 3s. Just leave what is left of me in pieces, broken in 3. Kept the coffee mugs you bought, we moved them to the back. I painted over every wall that showed a little crack. I learned the hard way that a heart can't feed on maybe so, or keep a fire burning in a house that's full of snow. I used to let the phone ring just to hear your recorded voice, but I'm finding out that staying stuck is nothing but a choice. So I sat down with a pencil and a piece of crumpled white to build a little fortress in the middle of the night. These are the rules I wrote myself to keep from falling through, to stop the part of me that's always reaching out for you. Rule number 1, don't look for stars in the sky, that's turn a lead. Rule number 2, don't go to sleep with your name inside my head. I'm drawing lines in permanent ink across this broken shelf, just trying to survive by the rules I wrote myself. Rule number 3 is never drive past the park on 5th and Main, where we danced beneath the canopy and laughed away the rain. Rule number 4 says delete the text and the photos in the file, because the ghost of how we were is just a poison kind of smile. It's a strict and lonely living, and it feels a little cold, but it's the only way to keep my spirit from being sold. I'm the warden of my memories, I'm the keeper of the gate, learning how to breathe again before it gets too late. Sometimes I want to break them, to tear the pages thin, to open up the window and let the what ifs back on in. But I know that if I falter, if I let the guard dog sleep, I'll drown inside the promises we didn't get to keep. So I stick to the rules I wrote myself to keep from falling through, to stop the part of me that's always reaching out for you. Rule number one, don't look for stars in the sky that's turn to lead. Rule number two, don't go to sleep with your name inside my head. I'm drawing lines in permanent ink across this broken shelf, just trying to survive by the rules I wrote myself. Rule number five, just stay alive. Rule number six, the heart will fit. The heart will fit. One line at a time, one day at a time. The rules I wrote to bring me home. I'm drifting to a rebels in the pale moonlight, a map of every battle that we lost inside the night. I used to wear your promises like a second skin, but now I'm just a wreckage where the hollow ache sets in. My mirror is a witness to the ghost of who I was before you broke a rhythm, just because you said because. Now the silence is a razor and the memory is a blade, and I'm counting all the prices for the mistakes that we made. And I'm living with the stars you left behind, etched into my spirit and tattooed on my mind. Leather jacket and the wrenches of a love that went unkind. The history of us that I cannot unbind. We like I used to, we get burned in the cold. A broken heart has told me it's already been told. Yeah, I'm learning how to bleed with the scars you left behind. Yeah, I try to scrub the shadows off the surface of my chest, cause some things won't stay buried even when you try your best. Every word you never whispered is a mark upon the gold, a permanent reminder that I'm standing here alone. I wear them like a medal, I wear them like a shame. My white razor ledger of the man you became. Dag in the winter, it may stiffen in the way. Your lights on souvenir of the center of the pain. They say the time's a heater, but it just leaves a seam. I jog your little sins in the middle of a dream. I'm not as pretty as the girl I used to be, but these scars are the only things keeping track of me. Scars you left behind, you left behind, etched into my spirit and tattooed on my mind. Never taking little inches of a love that went unkind. The history of us that I cannot unbind. initials on the corner of this desk. The wood is cold and scarred, just like all the rest. The bell rings out, but the silence is what I really hear. Ever since you decided to disappear, I still reach for your hand when the teacher starts to drone. Then I remember I'm sitting in this 6-inch gap alone. The attendance is called, but they skip right over you, and I'm the only one who knows what we're going through. I'm holding my breath, just waiting for the ghost of the person in the world that I love the most. Now it's just a seat next to yours, empty and white, a graveyard of secrets we used to hide. I'm leaning to the left, but there's nothing but air, just a heavy reminder that you're no longer there. I watch the dust mold set away an old book used to be, while the whole world keeps moving except for me. Yeah, I'm dying in the shadows of the classroom floors and the seat next to yours. Somebody new tried to sit there during fourth period. I almost screamed like it was something imperial. I piled up my books just to guard the space, so I didn't have to see a stranger's face. They don't know that's where you whispered that life was okay before you packed up your feelings and walked away. Is it worse to have the vacancy, or to see you sitting somewhere else across from me? You moved 3 rows down and 5 desks back and left my heart in a permanent crack. Now it's just a seat next to yours, empty and white, a graveyard of secrets we used to hide. I'm leaning to the left, but there's nothing but air, just a heavy reminder that you're no longer there. I watch the dust mold set away your notebook used to be, while the whole world keeps moving except for me. Yeah, I'm dying in the shadows of the classroom floors and the seat next to yours. Bell rings, class is over. I'm still waiting for a shoulder that isn't there, just a chair and the air and the seat next to yours. I'm staring at the glossy black screen like a mirror to the soul, watching the digital ghost take absolute control. I've checked the signal and I've checked the tone, but it's just a piece of glass in a heavy heart alone. The charger's still plugged in by the side of the bed, feeding life to a memory that I should have left dead. I unlock the gallery just to see you smile, then I lock it back up and I cry for a while. And it's the silence of the phone that's screaming in the room, a cold metallic echo of my impending doom. No vibration on the table, no blue light in the dark, just the absence of the flame and the absence of the spark. I'm waiting for pain that's never gonna come. My fingers are frozen and my spirit is numb. frequency of being all alone. By the silence of the phone, I type out a message, then I hit delete, trying to find the courage not to be so weak. I stare at the online till it fades to a gray, watching how easily you slipped away. I check the block list just to feel the sting of the unanswered calls and the unheard ring. It's a digital graveyard in the palm of my hand, a lonely transmission from a broken down land. Maybe the battery's dead or the towers fell down. Maybe there's a quiet storm all across the town. But I know the truth and it's harder to hold than the plastic and circuitry turning so cold. Yeah, it's the silence of the phone that's screaming in the room, a cold metallic echo of my impending doom. No vibration on the table, no blue light in the dark, just the absence of the flame and the absence of the spark. I'm waiting for a ping that's never gonna come. My fingers are frozen and my spirit is numb, lost in the frequency of being all alone. By the silence of the phone, turn it off, put it down. The quiet is the only sound. No bars, no calls, just shadows on the walls.
I still find your name, the tip of my tongue, like a song that we started when the world was still young. But the air in the kitchen has grown thin and dry, and the good morning papa has turned to a sigh. I reach for the phone when the clock strikes the hour, then I remember the wilt of the flower. I swallow the syllables, I choke on the sound, and let the goodbye fall back to the ground. And oh, it's a deafening thing, the silence of your name and the grief that it brings. It's the loudest vibration in a hollowed out room, a bell that won't ring, a flower won't bloom. I shout it to the rafters, I whisper it to sleep, but the quiet is a promise that I have to keep. It's the echo of a story that's missing its frame, living in the silence of your name. There's a space on the mail where the ink used to be, a gap in the us that's just narrowed to me. I see your old work boots still caked in the clay, holding the shape of a man gone away. I try to say it out loud just to see if it's real, to break through the numbness and find how to feel. But the consonants crumble and the vowels just disappear, leaving nothing but the static of another lonely year. If I say it too much, will the memory fade like a photograph left with a version of you that's still living inside. A bell that won't ring, a flower won't bloom. I shout it to the rafters, I whisper it to sleep, but the quiet is a promise that I have to keep. It's the echo of a story missing its frame, living in the silence of your name. Did you hear me? It's just a ghost now, a breath in the dark. Silence, silence of your name.
I'm starting to recognize the shadow on the wall, the way the air gets heavy just before the fall. The first one was a lesson, a wild and sudden sting. The second was a winter that killed the hope of spring. But I thought you were the healer, the one to break the chain. Instead you're just the latest architect of pain. Now there's a third ghost walking through my hall, another name I whisper to the silence of the wall. I felt the charm was coming, I felt the luck was due, but now I'm just a haunted house full of memories of you. One for the sorrow, two for the grief, and a third ghost to prove that love is just a thief. I'm running out of space to hang these heavy frames, a gallery of faces and a litany of names. The third time was the limit, the end of the line. I gave you every piece of what was left of mine. I didn't see it coming, I didn't know the ghost was already waiting for the one I love the most. Is there a curse on the way that I feel, or is my heart just a target made of steel? first one still lingers, the second one cries, and the third one just looks at me with your eyes. No more try agains, no more me and you. I'm done with the trinity of being black and blue. Just me and my three ghosts. My three ghosts. I'm standing at the junction where the pavement turns to dust, looking at the wreckage of a threefold kind of trust. The first road was a landslide, I barely made it through. The second was a dead end that left me black and blue. But you were the highway, the one that stretched so far, the one I follow blindly like a lucky silver star. Now the map is torn in pieces, the engine's gone cold, and I'm left with a story that's 3 times too old. It's a three-way split, a fracture in the soul, 3 different forevers that I couldn't make whole. They told me 3 was magic, the charm that sets you free, but it's just 3 different ways to take the heart out of me. 1 for the lesson, 2 for the pride, and 3 for the ghost that's now hitching a ride. I'm pulled in every direction, torn bit by bit, in the middle of a lonely three-way split. I've got 3 different keys that don't fit any door, 3 different shadows etched upon the floor. I'm getting good at packing, at the moving on routine. They're scrubbing out the memory until the room is clean. But your scent is like a static, a noise I can't ignore. The third and final weight that I'm dropping at the door. Is there a fault line in my chest, a crack I cannot see? Because the math of love is always subtracting from me. Once is a tragedy, twice is a streak, but 3 times is enough to make a mountain feel weak. I'm running out of compass, I'm running out of light, just a silhouette fading in a 3-way night. Do I turn left to the past, or right to the pain, or just stand in the center and drown in the rain? be alone. And staring at the ceiling, counting shadows in the dark, trying to remember how we lost the final spark. The first time I was shattered, I was young and I was naive. The second time it happened, I still wanted to believe. But you were the redemption, the one who'd break the spell. Now I'm just a resident of a very familiar hell. I've memorized the exit signs, I've mastered every plea, but the universe is finished making promises to me. It's the Trinity of sorrow, the Trinity of tears, a decade worth of forever echoing through the years. One for the dream, and two for the pride, and three for the part of me that finally died inside. They say the third time is a charm, but it's a heavy iron chain, leaving me to drown in the Trinity of pain. I'm running out of metaphors to describe the way it feels to be the one who's always left behind the spinning wheels. Three different photos tucked away in a velvet lined box, three different heartbreaks that I couldn't outfox. I gave you the remaining light, the embers in the gray. Now I'm just a bystander in a pre-recorded fate. Is there a flaw in the foundation? Is the rhythm out of time? Or is love in me just an uphill, impossible climb? One was a ripple, two was a wave, but three is the ocean and an unmarked grave. I've got no more next times left in my chest. I'm putting the hope and the longing to rest. The math of my life is a cold hard three, and that's just too many goodbyes for me. It's the Trinity of soul, Trinity of tears, a decade worth of echoing through the years. One for the dreamer, and two for the pride, and three for the part of me that finally died inside. Inside the third time is a charm, but it's a heavy iron chain, leaving me to drown in the Trinity of pain. Three times a loser, three times the fall. I'm leaning my head against a third cold wall. No more counting, no more years, just me and the Trinity of tears, the Trinity of tears. I thought the price was paid in full back then. After the first goodbye and then never again. The second one took what the first one missed. A little less light in the way we kissed. But I say the small corner, a quiet holy place, thinking the third time I'd find a saving grace. But the dead is due and the sky is turning black, and I've got nothing left for you to take back. It's a triple toll, the heavy cost of 3, the final lock turning on the ghost of me. 1 for the spirit, 2 for the mind, but the third one took what was left to find. They say the charm is lucky, they say the stars align, but I'm just paying for a love that isn't mine. Yeah, the triple toll is breaking me tonight. I'm a seasoned traveler of this lonely road. I know how to carry the weight of the load, but the wheels are coming off on this third turn. There's not enough wood for another bridge to burn. I've memorized the silence, I've mastered the ache, but 3 is the number where the foundations break. I gave you the harvest, I gave you the seed. Now I'm just the hunger and the desperate need. Is my heart a graveyard or a revolving door? I can't tell the difference in the wreckage anymore. Is there a tax on